Hi, and welcome to Rise, Heal, and Grow. I'm Leah M. Hill. This show is a podcast production of Apollo Sunrise Center, which is a holistic wellness retreat center in Merrimack, Massachusetts. On this show, we shine the light on those who nurture wellness and inspire positive change. My guest today is Joel Salomon. He is the founder of Salomon Prosperity Coaching and is a prosperity coach and an author. Welcome, Joel.
Thanks so much for having me, Leah. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here today.
Well, thank you for being here today and making all this way. I know you had a long drive to get out here, but thank you for being here. It's great to have you. So you had what many would consider a dream career for many years. You were managing a massive hedge fund. And can you take us back to that time that when you were doing that, before you started this prosperity coaching business?
Sure. If you had asked me when I was working as an actuary in 1993, and an actuary is somebody who calculates the premium for insurance companies if you've ever had to pay your auto insurance or your health insurance or life insurance, we calculated those premiums. So I was working there, had gone through all the exams, and had a hobby, which was analyzing and investing in stocks.
Okay.
And I realized if I could ever align my hobby and my career, it would be fun,
golden,
not work.
Right.
And so I decided that that's what I wanted. Mm-hmm. Now, not so easy when you don't have the experience or education. But I went about getting that, and 15 years later, I started working at Citigroup as a hedge fund manager, meaning that I was investing in stocks, betting that some stocks were going to go up and other stocks were going to go down.
Okay.
And so I was doing my dream.
Wow.
It was a bit of trial by fire. It was January 2008 when I got the first job as a hedge fund manager. You're quite young, but you probably...
I remember 2008, yes.
Yeah. So it was not the best year in the stock market. The market was down 40% that year.
Wow.
And financial stocks, the only stocks that I was invested in, were down 57%.
Wow.
So I did manage to make a little bit of money for the bank shareholders that year. Next year was better. And I actually might still be working at that bank, but there was a law that was passed that banks cannot own hedge funds.
Oh.
And so we were all laid off.
Oh, my goodness.
Which actually gave me the kick in the butt to start my own fund.
Okay.
And so I went about that process, raised the money, and in June of 2013, I started my own hedge fund, Salomon Capital, for investing in mostly financial stocks, mostly insurance companies and other financial stocks. And so I was doing that for almost 4 years when I went to a personal development course. And if you want to get into the story, that's how I got to here.
What happened?
So I went to this personal development course, and actually two things happened. First was that we had a guest speaker speaking for 1 hour, and during that hour, he told us that there's only one way to get rich.
One way to get rich.
And that's stock options. And I was sick to my stomach. There were people tapping me on the shoulder, whispering in my ear, "Joel, does this make sense? Are options really risk-free?" So I was polite.
Yeah, I was going to say that sounds like the riskiest thing you can do from what I know about.
Exactly.
It's the riskiest thing. But you said that's the way to get rich.
I was polite.
Okay.
So I waited till he was done.
Right.
Left the auditorium, and I told the people that were circling around me, "Please don't do this. He has no idea about any of you individually, and most importantly, no idea about your belief that you could become rich using options." See, out of the 200 people in the room, probably 3 were going to become rich using stock options. And many others could become rich through their business, through real estate,
that's what I would think.
through stocks, through many other opportunities.
Right.
Now, the second thing that happened at that personal development course was we were given a wooden board 2 inches thick, and we were told we're going to break it with our bare hand.
I've seen that,
So you've done it?
I haven't done it, but I've seen it done.
Well, there's a lot of fear in the room.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The exercise was called obstacles are illusions. And on one side of the board, we had to write our biggest obstacle.
Okay.
And then on the other side, our ultimate goal.
Okay, on the actual board that
Yep.
you're going to break. Okay. Wow.
So ultimate goal stumped me for a while.
Yeah.
And then it hit me. Make everyone in this room financially free. Make everyone in this room financially free. And then I broke the board like everyone else did in the room. Went home that night and couldn't sleep. First, the guy was in my head. And I realized if I could ever get up the courage to speak on a stage, because my fear that day, my biggest fear that day was public speaking.
Ah, okay. That's
If I
very
could
common.
ever get up the courage,
Yeah.
then I could tell people the truth about money, not lie to them, and be of service.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second thing going on in my head at 3:34 in the morning was that wooden board staring back at me. Make everyone in this room financially free. And it hit me about 4:30. I jumped out of bed. I quickly got dressed. I was at my office in Midtown Manhattan before the sun rose.
Okay.
And I sent an email to my investors telling them I'm giving them their money back. I'm shutting down my fund.
What?
I figured out my true purpose
goodness.
on
Oh
earth.
my goodness.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And you were just so clear on this. I mean,
So
that's
clear,
like got to be
no
one
doubt.
of the scariest things, and you did it.
Well, yes, and I was living my dream, and yet I saw in that room of 200 people what needs to be done, because so many people are being taught lies about money.
Yeah.
And being scammed. And I knew that if I could ever get up that courage, that I could tell them the truth. That, as we just talked about, there are many different ways to get rich.
Right.
And people need to know that. And people need to know that it's most likely not stock options.
Right. Which is it's so risky. And I mean, even from someone like with your expertise with the hedge funds and kind of knowing, as you even said, you know, betting on which ones were going to go up and go down, it's like you still can't control the stock market. So how can you put all of that
I say that
effort
stocks.
into it? Yeah.
So I teach a 5-step stock screen. I teach a 7-step real estate screen. And what I do with my clients is help them get the odds massively in their favor.
Okay.
And yet there's still a 20 or 30% chance that they're not going to double their money in 1 to 2 years.
Right.
So even with all the education and all my experience and the techniques that I know, there's no guarantees.
Right. That makes sense. But I think, like you said, there's so much out there. I mean, for even a small business owner like myself, you know, there's so many different programs. There's so many different schools, and as well as traditional. You know, I have MBA and the traditional route that I went through with my education, and then all of these programs that are out there. It's really hard to find one that, like you said, isn't the scam, isn't just going to tell you, you know, this is how you do it and then walk away. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the formula. This is what's right for everybody, and then you leave. So it sounds like your program is different in that you're really putting it out there. This is what's going to work. Like you said, not guaranteed, but it will be get people on the process or along the way. How does that work?
So I teach to the individual, meaning that you come to me and tell me what you're interested, passionate about learning.
Okay.
And so I'm not going to teach you stocks if you tell me I'm really interested in learning real estate. Or
see.
if you're already a small business owner and you want to learn the techniques to double or 10 times that business, I'm not going to push you into stocks.
Right.
And so
Okay.
what I
That's
truly
helpful.
believe is you will make a lot more money doing what you love. And so the first step is figuring out what you love, and then the second is figuring out what your belief level is on all different types of investments, including your business.
Right.
By the way, rule number 1 in my second book, The 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use, is when you believe.
When you believe, that's rule number 1. Okay, let's show the book. We'll show the book now. It's called The 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use, and only the unconventional ones.
Yeah.
Explain that. But there's 9 money rules, but rule number 1 is belief.
Rule number 1 is when you believe, yes.
When you believe.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you believe, that's when the magic happens.
Correct. And if you have a very low belief level, then it's very unlikely for you to achieve what you've conceived.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
So
definitely.
Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind of man can conceive and bring himself to believe he can achieve, from his book Think and Grow Rich.
Right.
It was written about 100 years ago. And so to answer your question, which the unconventional ones, only the unconventional ones. So what I teach is from my experience as a hedge fund manager. And what I found is belief is critical.
Okay.
Your mindset is critical. And if I was doubting my expertise, if I lost money 7 days in a row and I started like, I got to make money, but having doubt that was even going to be possible, then I lose money in 8 days.
Right. Right. That's so hard. And it's so hard for us to get because so many of us have this, bad relationship with money, from basically, whatever our culture or what we were taught or what our parents taught. I mean, I'm thinking some of the things my father used to say that were very,
we can't afford that.
Yeah.
Money doesn't grow on trees.
Right.
That's too expensive.
All those
Inflation's
things.
really high. You got to work really, really hard to be rich and successful.
Right.
All of these I call limiting beliefs. Those are not empowering you. Or a lot of my clients are heart-centered or spiritual entrepreneurs. And so they were taught, well, if I'm a good soul, I shouldn't care about money. If I'm spiritual, I should be okay with just getting by.
Right.
And I will tell you, those well-meaning humans who didn't know any better were not serving you.
Right. Yeah. Even if they did mean well when they said that, definitely. I mean, but it's so, it's so hard for us because we want to believe, we want to erase the doubt, but then how? It's like, how do you just change it? Like change your mindset?
It doesn't happen like that.
Okay.
I teach all different types of techniques, affirmations, which Napoleon Hill calls autosuggestion. So, and then what's most important, which most people don't teach about affirmations, is what your belief level is. Okay. So if you're saying, I am a money magnet, but your ego is calling BS on yourself, and that's not belief systems,
right?
Then this is what's happening.
Right, and then you're not getting anywhere.
And nothing's happening.
Okay.
You're creating resistance. So write down your level of belief in the affirmation before you say it, because it's not an 8, 9, or 10. Nothing's happening.
Okay.
And also, how you say the affirmation is really important. If you're just saying, I am a money magnet, that's not serving you either.
Right.
I am a money magnet.
You have to have the feeling behind it, is what you're saying.
Feeling first, manifestation second.
Right.
So knowing what your belief level is, putting some feeling, saying it out loud with emotion. And so using affirmations is one way to change your belief level.
Right.
2 is using audio files that I provide to my clients. 3 is acting as if.
Oh, as if it's already happened.
Correct.
Yes.
And that's what I actually did to raise the money for my hedge fund.
Really?
Because my story is in 2012, I had 2 insurance companies as investors orally agreed to give me money.
Okay.
And that was in February, March of 2012. So I went about the process of creating my hedge fund, hiring a lawyer, an accountant, auditor, prime broker, renting prime real estate space on 54th and Madison Avenue, moved into that space, and then called up both of those investors, and they both backed out.
Oh, my goodness.
And I have no pipeline. I had a dream.
Oh, my goodness.
And I was this close to it, but I had no pipeline.
Okay.
And so I started acting as if we already had the money.
Okay. So you just said, even though I heard I got rejected or got this 2 rejections, I'm just going to
plow forward. Keep on plowing forward. And so I moved into that real estate space. I had the morning calls with my analysts. We went to conferences acting as if we had already invested the money. And then I did something even more crazy. I put together a spreadsheet and calculated how much money we were making every day.
Oh, my goodness.
As if we were already invested. And a month later, we had a good meeting with a different insurance company. 30 days after that, we had a signed written agreement, and
Wow.
90 days after that, the monies were in the bank.
Work. See, so many people couldn't get past that first rejection. That's what's so hard.
If you believe it's hard, it's hard.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true too. So what about for the people, and maybe you felt like this too before you got into this work when you were doing the money management, is, they're financially successful in the outside world, but inside they're feeling unfulfilled. Is there something that you offer that can help people that are like, it looks really good on paper, but I'm really miserable?
Yeah, it's a great question. Again, going back to what we talked about earlier, if you have an alignment with your purpose, and actually my next book coming out later this year is Your Path to Purpose and Prosperity.
Okay.
I'm writing it with a purpose coach. And I truly believe, and Jackie Roberge is my co-author, we truly believe that if you're in alignment with your purpose, you're going to be making more money if you're passionate about what you're doing. So check yourself again on the belief scale. I got into this business because I truly believed that it was going to make a difference. I was going to be helping others. I was going to be serving others and make more money for myself as well, which is a good thing. It's good to be rich. It's good to be rich.
Right.
You got to be saying that to yourself.
I know a lot of people say yes.
Because think about it. If you have $10 million and you could give $9 million away to your favorite charity or to feed some town somewhere around the globe, like how much more good could you do if you had more money?
Right.
So
if you could do it.
Right. So anyway, I truly believe that if you're on purpose, check yourself what your level of belief is that you're on your purpose, and I truly believe you'll be making more money doing that.
That's great. And I also believe that a lot of people, because of their personal experience or their past experience with people that they've known who were financially successful when they weren't, and how they chose to use their money. Maybe they weren't donating the $9 million to the charities and all of that. And so I feel like there's some subconscious thing that I don't want to be rich because I'm not going to be like that person. I don't want to be the bad guy.
Correct. And I will tell you, I've met some very rich people in my lifetime, and they are the most generous, caring, kind people on this earth. And so most people haven't actually interacted with a billionaire. And so they see the TV news or they see the movies, and their perception of rich people is from that. And I will tell you, there's probably 1 to 10 million people that are very rich, and you haven't met 1 to 10 million of them. So you've probably met a handful. And so your perception of that large group is from this handful, which is, going back to my days as a statistician, not statistically significant. So you're making judgments from the news, from what you're seeing on TV and movies that, by the way, when's the last time you went to a movie where that rich person was portrayed as other than a drug lord or a criminal?
Right, true.
When's the last time? It's very hard to remember. So in the news, in movies and TV, rich people are portrayed as evil. And so you're being programmed all day, every day, that rich people are criminals. And if I really make it big, then I'm going to be like them.
Yeah.
Which I will tell you, money just makes you, the more money you have, it just makes you more of who you are. That's all it does.
Makes you more of who you are.
Yeah. So if you're kind, it'll make you kinder. If you're generous, it'll make you more generous.
I've never heard that. I like that.
It's the truth.
That's a really good way to put it, because we have this onslaught of, everything from the James Bond movies, the bad guy that had this unlimited amount of money and all these, these men, soldiers working for him and everything to do all these bad deeds and wipe out and take over the world and everything.
It's just a movie.
And it's just a movie. And I'm thinking too that we wouldn't want someone to judge us by, our, whatever category or career that we are in, just because someone was portrayed that way in the media. I wouldn't want someone to say, oh, well, the the small business owners are bad or something, and I wouldn't want that. So so that's a good point. So don't portray that or project that onto other people as well.
I literally had a woman that was in a networking group last week with me, and she heard the name of my speaker coach, and who generates in her business $8 to $10 million a year, and immediately said, "Oh, that shark."
Wow.
And
so that's just an association that was instantaneous.
Person who is making a lot of money is not a good person.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, this person, this coach, she does amazing work, and she is, again, the kindest, most generous, giving person, among the most kindest, generous, giving person I've met.
Really? Yeah.
But the perception outside is, oh, that's a shark.
Right.
If you're making a lot of money,
then you must have done something bad to get it right, to do that. Wow. So talk about the process of doubt the doubt is one of your mantras. What is that?
Well, you may have some doubts that come up in your business. You may have some doubts that come up in your investing. And so I say hashtag doubt the doubt. Have faith in the dream. Don't have faith in your doubt.
Have faith in the dream. Don't have faith in your doubt. Okay.
Most people start doubting themselves, start worrying about, oh, how's this going to work?
Yeah.
And I say, stop that. Stop, cancel, clear, get the fear out of here. Or you could use the other F word. I'm not going to judge you. Mm-hmm. Stop, cancel, clear, get the F out of here. So that's a good reframe.
Okay.
When you start getting the doubt.
You notice it. The first thing is to be aware of it, right? To be aware of it. So if I said, okay, I'm going to make, $8 million this year or next year, but then I'm going to go, oh, how's that going to happen? I'm struggling. How am I going to do that?
Stop, cancel, clear, get the fear out of here. Or get the F out of here.
Get the F out of here.
Another great reframe is
like
Dr. Joe Dispenza says, change. Just scream change.
Just scream change.
Right. That's the reframe. Now, from Sir John Templeton's book, The Worldwide Laws of Life, he adds to that by saying, do the reframe and then think of something positive. So change and then think of something positive that's happened in the past in this lifetime, like the birth of a child or your wedding day or something like that. Think of something really positive so that you don't just scream change, but then shift your mind to a feeling of goodness and happiness.
Right. Which I think you could do with practice pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe not at first, but pretty quickly with practice. That sounds like you can do that by just, again, having the awareness, making the decision, and really knowing that you can control your own thoughts. Mm-hmm. And then when you lead into that, like your what you talk about in your book, the belief will then produce the outcome
exactly
that you're looking for. So this is a whole process that, maybe we've heard of from the, The Secret or some law of attraction or things along the way, but this is putting it together in a much more practical way.
Correct. And I think the misconception in The Secret, or law of attraction, is that you can just think your way to riches. And I don't know any billionaires who just sit at home and meditate and visualize all day.
I don't either.
Right? You got to take action. But what I say is, once you're visualizing and meditating, you're taking inspired action. Right? And so it's an action in alignment, as opposed to this kind of action which is what I did for 30 years. I grinded it out. Right? And Dr. Joe Dispenza will say, okay, you're moving matter to make matter. But there's other ways to do it. Once you're visualizing and meditating, you can get into flow, and then you're taking inspired action from that point of view, rather than this kind of white knuckling it.
Yeah, definitely. And I've experienced that too, like the inspire, I put out an intention, and then it's like all of a sudden, hey, I should call this person or reach out to this person. And then it leads to the ultimate goal, which is without all of the toil and the suffering and the hard work, which is, a lot of what we were taught about how to achieve your goal.
Yeah, in my Money Miracles Mastermind group, my members have manifested $2,580,000.
Wow.
And that is when a surprise amount of money has come in where they weren't efforting, right? It was less efforting and more allowing. Now, of course, it's taking action. So one example is somebody had a client 3 years ago who said, no, I can't afford you.
Okay.
And 3 years later, they joined my program. They're on the call. During the call, they get an email. Hey, are you still doing the feng shui interior design that you were doing a few years ago? Yes. Okay, I want to sign up. I have the money now.
Wow.
So that's a money manifestation.
Wow.
That's a client that came out of the blue, out of nowhere, and that's been happening every week in the mastermind group.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. So talk a little bit about some of the things you do. You have the ongoing groups. You also have workshops. You have a workshop coming up at Apollo Sunrise Center on June 13th.
Yes.
And so that workshop, can you talk a little bit about what people would learn in that workshop?
Yeah, so we'll go through some of the 9 money rules.
Okay.
We'll go through how to shift those money beliefs from limiting to empowering, how to go from I can't afford that, money doesn't grow on trees, or what my dad used to tell me when I left the room with the light on, Joel, we're not a shareholder of Long Island Lighting Company, shut that light off.
Yeah.
Right. So going from these limiting beliefs to empowering beliefs. And by the way, you don't have to go searching for some invisible limiting belief.
Okay.
Just move to the empowering belief. So we'll teach that.
Move to the empowering belief. Okay.
We'll teach rule number 2,
okay,
which is trust your intuition. And I will tell you, no financial advisor out there is going to tell you to trust your intuition when it comes to managing money, but this former hedge fund manager will, because I know if I didn't trust my intuition, I either lost money or made less money.
Right.
And so you have a powerful tool. You have a really powerful tool. And most people are judging themselves, second guessing themselves. And I still do it to this day. So I still have to work on that. And there's ways to develop your intuition. So we'll talk about that.
Right.
Rule number 3, can happiness buy you money? Not can money buy you happiness.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. Can happiness buy you money?
So it's a rhetorical question. If you were ecstatic, happy, joyous, 24/7, of course you'd attract more abundance and prosperity into your life.
I would think
So
so.
we talk about happy habits. We'll go through that. We'll talk about the 6 steps plus the bonus step on how to visualize your dreams.
Wow. Okay.
And then we'll get into the power, probably one of the most powerful techniques you could ever have to generate abundance and prosperity in your life. It's not stock tips.
Okay.
It's not insider trading. It's gratitude.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
And then point 6, rule number 6 may be even just as powerful, the law of generous giving.
Being a giver. I believe that you get back what you give tenfold.
Sir John Templeton said he hadn't met anybody. I don't know if you know Sir John, but he was considered the best investor of the 20th century. He started the Templeton Funds with just a few $1,000s, grew it to almost $1 billion in the 1990s.
Wow.
And sold it to the Franklin Fund, so it's the Franklin Templeton Funds now. So he said he hadn't met anybody who hadn't given at least 10% of his earnings each year over a 10-year period, who didn't have massively more wealth at the end of the 10 years than at the beginning. And you may be saying, Joel, so wait a second, if I give my money away, I have less money, not more. And I will tell you, money is just energy.
Yeah.
And by putting it out there and putting the flow out there,
even
it
10%.
will come back to you. Even 10%.
Even 10%. Oh, that's great. And I love your goal. So you have a personal mission to help at least 100,000 people become financially free.
Yes.
100,000 people.
Or more.
Or more. So that's, I mean, what does that even look like to you, being financially free? For so many people that might not, feel like I don't have the, ability to be a hedge fund person. Like you said, there are other ways to attract abundance and attract money. But what does that look like for people to be financially free? Is it just buying what you want or traveling where you want?
So first of all, I will tell you, I've surveyed thousands of people on their financial freedom number, and almost everyone has overestimated their financial freedom number by more than $1 million. So you are actually closer to financial freedom than you think, because they overestimate it dramatically by 7 figures.
Wow.
So let's talk about what is financial freedom. Financial freedom is just when you have passive income investments that cover your expenses so you don't have to work. And so let me just give you an example. Your expenses are $5,000 a month, $60,000 a year.
Right.
You would need $1 million in passive income investments, earning 6% to cover the expenses, so you're financially free. So those are the numbers. And what does it feel like? Well, I define financial freedom as doing what you love for as much time as you want to, or as little, with those you love from where you love doing it.
That's great. Love for as much time as you want to. So just doing whatever your heart feels called to do, your passion, your love, for as long. And then when it feels like you're done, you don't love it as much anymore, then you move on to something else. I like that.
Yep.
That's beautiful. Thank you
Sure.
for sharing that. So please tell everybody how to find you, how to connect with you.
So, yeah, you can go to salamour.com, but SALAURMOR.com. But what I'd like to do is for, let's say, the first 11 people, I'd like to gift them an individualized roadmap to an extra $10,000. This is normally about $1,000 prosperity coaching call, but for those few people, just get on my calendar, and it's my complimentary gift to you.
Oh my gosh! So how would they get on your? They would go to your website.
So go to salamour.com,
Yeah,
SALAURMOR.com. If you scroll down just a little bit, it says click on the link for your Money Miracles call.
That's fantastic. So it's just a phone call.
It's a Zoom call.
It's a Zoom call.
Yeah.
And you would get people to the next step for this.
Yeah, so we'll create an individualized roadmap so that, we can get you to an extra $10,000. And these are individual calls. It depends on where you are in your business or investing. So it's individualized based on your needs.
Wow, that's great. Well, thank you. And that offer is great to just go and find on Joel's website, but you can also meet Joel in person and learn from him in person on June 13th at Apollo Sunrise Center for his Money Manifestation Workshop. And that day, I believe you are offering a small number of individual sessions.
Yes, I am.
For attendees of that workshop. You can also sign up for a session later on that same day. So
And that's complimentary as well.
And that's complimentary as well. That's amazing. So jump on that. So you can find information about the June 13th offering at apollosunrise.com and Joel's roadmap offering on his website as well. So thank you for sharing so much helpful information for us today. I think you really got a lot of people inspired and excited and thinking about money differently.
Great.
From what we were talking about. Thank you. And thank you, all of you, for watching or listening here today on Rise, Heal, and Grow with Leah M. Hill. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe on whatever platform you're joining us on today. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, just go to apollosunrise.com/podcast and fill out the Google form right there on the website. And please join us again soon because we have lots more episodes coming up.